If you own an older Mercedes-Benz, here's a little tip I'd like to share with you. I think a number of owners aren't even aware that these window squirter nozzles are adjustable. A lot of times they get plugged up. And when they get plugged up, they won't squirt at all. And then, of course, when they get out of adjustment, they squirt in funny angles. Most of them have two nozzles going way back into the 70s. And they're located on either side. Some of them only have one squirter in each nozzle. But on this car, it has two. So there's two nozzles going up here, and there's two nozzles going up onto this side of the windshield. And those little nozzles have ball sockets, and they can be rotated in the ball socket to change the direction of where they hit the windshield. So if you have plug squirters, or your squirters are not shooting in the right location, then let me show you what little tool I use to get them cleaned out and adjusted properly again. The first time I attempted to adjust these nozzles was almost 20 years ago on my 82 240D. That was one of the first Mercedes I ever owned. And I remember I got a little wire. I'd stick the little wire down in there, and if it was small enough to go into the hole, I could clean the hole out. Generally, the wire wasn't strong enough. Sometimes it would work. It depended a lot on how tight those nozzle sockets were, and sometimes when these cars sit a long time and they're not adjusted, they get really stuck, and you have to have a very, very strong tool in that hole to get them to move. Once you get them to move and exercise them a little bit, then it's much easier to adjust them. So after a while, I began to realize I was going to have two tools. I was going to have a wire that was small enough to get in the hole and clean them out, because you'll get crud and junk impacted in these holes, and even if you adjust them, you see, you're not going to be able to get them to really squirt that well. Now, they only go in about 1/4 of an inch, and then they hit down inside. So you may need to run these wires in and out while someone is exercising the squirters from inside the car, and you'll want to work this around, work both of these on both sides, and get these squirting nice and clean. They should come out in a nice straight stream. Then once you've got the holes cleaned out, you can use this very, very strong spring steel tool that I make here in my own shop, and you can stick it in the hole. I push it all the way and get it real tight, and then you're able to adjust it up and down and side to side. You'd be amazed at how much travel that little ball socket actually has. Once you get the nozzle holes cleaned out and squirting properly, then you can use this very strong spring steel wire tool to set right in the hole, and then you can rotate it. See that? You can move it up and down and side to side. What you'll do is need to get in and use your windshield wiper and squirters to test. And it may squirt low, and you'll have to adjust it, and you'll have to adjust it again and try again. So there's a little bit of trial and error, and there's no precise area where these need to hit the windshield. You'll be able to tell after driving the car. You generally want to have it come up and hit right about in the center of the windshield, maybe a little above center, and you want them spread out 6 to 8 inches. So you've got good coverage this way, and the same on the other side. So don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Like I say, it may take 3 or 4 times testing your wipers with the squirters to get them just where you want them. Now, if you want to get your own squirters cleaned out and working properly, you can probably make these tools on your own. If not, I have these available on my website. They're very inexpensive. I don't try to make a lot of money on these. It's just kind of a favor to our customers, but I do charge a small amount to cover the cost of making them and packaging them. So if you're interested, check the description below in the video, and there'll be a link to take you right to these little tools.